Today, I will briefly explain how transformer works. So the transformer works with alternating current only. So the alternating current passing through the primary coil. And the primary coil, because alternating current in the primary coil producing an alternating magnetic flux, that magnetic flux is linked to the secondary coil. So an EMF is induced in the secondary coil, which can be detected by oscilloscope. So take a look at this oscilloscope. So these yellow lines represent the waveform of the voltage signal in the primary coil. So this is secondary coil. Look at the ratio. So for the root mean square value for VR is 4.4, and for the secondary coil, the VR is 15.61 volts. So they're roughly 4:1. This is because the number of turns in the secondary coil. So you can see that it's much more dense than the primary coil. So the ratio of number of turns of coils of secondary to primary is 4:1. So the voltage of root mean square of VR of secondary should be 4 times larger than VR1. And second, you should understand that the iron core is making a buzzing sound. If I'm removing this iron core, you can see that the primary coil and secondary coil are not directly linked to each other, or you can producing a induced EMF even though these two coils are detached from each other. So for example, if I can put it over here, and I can see now the signal, the waveform for the secondary coil is much less. So you can see that the VR2 now is 3.8, the VR1 is 4.4. You can see that so only by connecting the iron core together, I can generate a much bigger voltage in the secondary coil. Look at it again. So now remove the iron core, the voltage dropped. I put the iron core back and the voltage increased. So finally, this iron core simply increased the magnetic flux from the primary coil to the secondary coil, even though the magnetic flux can go through the air, but by having the iron core, the magnetic flux. So most of the magnetic flux lines will directly pass from the primary to the secondary, even though we cannot see the magnetic flux line.